The bombing of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Japan surrenders to the US. The year is 1945. And in the fictional world of Disney, Mr. DeVille has a project in mind called the Panther De-Ville in 1945, named after himself. The specific size of this car is 21 feet, 8 feet wide, and 6 feet tall, and it weighs 4 tons if you account for the engine. The engine is a 60-liter VR8. The cylinder, one single cylinder, is bigger than a paint can. And, well, the complete engine, over 7 feet long. In fact, 7.4 feet long, and a little over 2 feet high, but under 2 feet wide, which makes it 60 liters. But anyway, the Panther De-Ville was a unique design in 1945, but didn't get popular very much. However, the VR8 did get popular, being designed in smaller capacities of 20 or 15 liters, such as in semi-trucks or vans. Although not Jasper and Horace's van, because that was just a single cylinder. A single de-stroked cylinder. But anyway, this fan episode was inspired by What's It Like? And in the world of Disney, the VR2 Engine became popular in 1925, about 20 years before the car was built in October of 1945. October 31st to be exact. And besides, this car is quite unique. Only 2 of them were built. The first one was destroyed in a car accident. Or should I say car chase? Oh, Cruella. You destroyed your father's vehicle. A vehicle commissioned by his wife, your mother. But hey, let bygones be bygones. You built another one. Or at least commissioned another one based on the blueprints of the first one. But added a few features such as a seatbelt and, well, and a few more springs in the trunk, just to make the door open a little faster. And also, this car is extremely customized. The CD on the hubcaps spells Cruella De-Ville in 2 simple letters. The mirrors are bigger than Megalodon teeth, aka 8 inches in diameter. Yes, I measured. Well, I think I did. But anyway, the car itself has 1600 horsepower. The bore is 31.5 centimeters, and the height of the cylinder is around 28 centimeters. Not to mention that this car is extremely famous. In fact, it's so famous that rip-offs of the Panther De-Ville were designed in 1975 in the fictional world of Disney. Although in our real world, it actually was just a Panther De-Ville. Like, it wasn't a rip-off of anything, but in the world of Disney, Cruella De-Ville's car was the true first Panther De-Ville, designed after the war, and it has 2 Merlin VR4 engines put together. These engines won the war in the world of Disney, whereas in our real world, a V12 did. But regardless, like I said, in the world of Disney, the VR4 became popular, and then the VR8, being designed as a 60-liter monster. It truly is a monster. And if you do recognize my voice, this is a spare channel of mine. And I'm not feeling angry today, not at all. At least on the outside, but no matter, this is a fan episode that I've been wanting to make for months. But I never had let's say, the emotional stress tolerances to make this video. But regardless, the car itself is extremely luxurious, able to seat 6 passengers, legally speaking, although 4 could be seated comfortably, give or take the weight of the average person. Now, of course, the second bench seat is in the back, right where that black S is on the back of Corella's car. It's similar to a Toyota Yaris with 2 doors. You would think that it could only seat 2 people, but in reality it can seat 4 or 5. Although honestly it can seat 4 comfortably, but Corella's car is bigger, wider, and taller, so it can seat 6 people easily. Although, with that said, Cruella only rides it. Although, with that said, Cruella only goes in her car alone, and the only potential passenger is Hunter De-Ville, her grandnephew. Though, admittedly, she treats him a little bit poorly, so maybe she wouldn't have let him inside. Except once, when she picked him up from that alleyway. Either that, or the limousine was right behind her. Hunter's limousine, which isn't a 40-foot monster. It's just a tiny bit bigger Hummer, about 20% bigger, actually, once you do the calculations on that. But anyway, Corella's car is far more capable and far more heavily built than Hunter's Hummer ever is, and ever was. Sure, it is an upgraded Hummer, but Corella's car, it was built by her father, Mr. De-Ville, also called Panther De-Ville, named after the car. Or should it be the other way around? After all, in our real world, people have a habit of naming things after themselves. To give you an example, Porsche is named after Sir Porsche from the World War. Bugatti, well, was the name of a real person. And it basically ties back to any car brand. So, it's not that much of a stretch to say that Corella's father, named Panther De-Ville, designed the car himself, although his last name wasn't originally De-Ville. He got married and took that last name from his wife, Mrs. De-Ville, Corella's mother, who I think is similar to the Baroness, but isn't quite as evil. Sure, she may or may not have murdered Corella's pup and then told her that she ran away, in order to trick her into hating dogs from there on out. But that's a whole other story. Back to the car. The car itself has a trunk of standard size, 15 cubic feet. After all, Doug is thrown in there like he's nothing. Ouch. Poor dog, actually. Oh dear. But anyway. Even after years and years of being neglected, it only has a little bit of rust. Though with that said, this is the second car that I'm referring to, and the one that you're looking at here in the picture. So maybe the first one would have been worse off if Cruella had somehow restored it. Or who knows, maybe it is restored, and I'm just a little bit of a delusional airhead. I don't know. But whether it was restored or rebuilt, the first car was indeed destroyed. And the one that we see in Dalmatian Street is a mere clone, or a twin. A twin that Mr. De-Ville might have considered building, but ultimately left unfinished. This reminds me of the Antonov 225 situation, actually. Let's look at the facts. First plane was destroyed. Check. First car was destroyed. Check. Do they both have identical twins somewhere in the shed? Check, and check. I don't know if this was intentional on Disney's part, but I think that's kind of funny. At least a little bit. Anyway, moving on. The last time we see Cruella De-Ville's second car is at the docks in Dalmatian Street. And when we return to the docks, it's gone. Either seized and crushed, or returned to Cruella's possessions. Who knows? Crushed or seized. You decide. But anyway, the car itself did indeed, both in our real world and the fictional world, inspire a real car called the Panther De-Ville in 1975, with a standard and not specially built V12 or inline-6 engine. Though with that said, a customized one was built with a V8 engine. Although Cruella's car has a 60-liter VR8 monstrosity. Like I already said before, it's two VR4s put together from World War II. In the world of Disney, at least. If this was our real world, it would be a 60-liter V24, which was actually the case at one point, until it was pointed out that it was a V8, not a V24. So, a VR8 then. How about that? The VR8 is a special engine. Like, it has 8 cylinders, but it is as long as a V24. It's really special to me, and my family alike. To put the VR8 in perspective, imagine 24 people trying to lift up, I don't know, let's say 1 ton. And they can do it, but inefficiently. Now, get 8 on the Giants, aka 4 as they nickname him, and, well, he pulls it up easily and at greater efficiency. Anyway, enough of that. Basically, the VR8 is a perfect engine for Cruella's car. I wish this car was built in our real world, because it would basically be close to perfect. Aside from the fact that it's owned by a animal killer. Ouch. Yeah. But anyway, I might as well go out with the would you rather thing. Anyway, would you rather be in a Toyota Yaris that is missing a seat because everyone is complaining about it, so they just pretend it's not there? Or would you rather go in Cruella De-Ville's car? Sure, it's luxurious, but it's owned by a psychopath. You choose. I'm not going to put up another offer. Anyway, the picture that you're currently seeing is also the thumbnail, which is kind of embarrassing. But, oh well. I like this picture. Like, it's really perfect. Like, she just pulls up to 101 Dalmatian Street. Like, in the craziest fashion. And it really shows on how powerful the VR8 is. 8 massive cylinders forcing the crankshaft to turn the car around due to the natural forces. As for the sliding, well, that I can't explain, other than magic. But in all seriousness, though, maybe it was a puddle or something. Anyway, enough about that. The car itself is quite unique. It's neither a Rolls-Royce Ghost or a Bugatti Royale. It's both at the same time, and with an engine by Rolls-Royce. After all, De-Ville of a time did say a 30-liter V12, which I do like. Anyway, goodbye. I'm going now. See you later, my engine lovers.